There's a clock running in your 30s. Most people can't hear it. It doesn't announce itself. Nobody sends you a letter when it starts, and nobody warns you when it stops. But somewhere between your 30th birthday and your 40th, a decade opens that determines what the rest of your financial life looks like. And most people spend that entire decade doing everything except the one thing that actually matters. Here's what that decade is worth in real numbers. A 30-year-old who puts $400 a month into a low-cost index fund and never increases it, never times the market, and never picks a single stock, retires at 65 with just over $1.5 million at the market's long-run average return of 10%. That same person who waits until 40 to start the identical habit retires with around $600,000. Same income, same $400 a month, 10 years later. And the gap between them isn't $48,000 in missed contributions, it's $900,000 in missed compounding. That's the clock, and right now in your 30s, it's running. So why do most people spend that decade not using it? Because your 30s is also the most expensive decade of your life, and nobody tells you that part in advance. Think about what actually happens in your 30s. The wedding that costs more than you planned, the house with the mortgage that feels manageable until the property tax bill arrives, the kids, which cost the average American household around $17,000 a year per child before you get anywhere near college, the second car, the school fees, and the family vacations that keep getting more expensive because the kids keep getting older and cheaper stops working as a strategy. Your income is going up in your 30s, but your expenses are going up faster. And the money that is supposed to go toward building something keeps getting redirected before it ever gets the chance, while you tell yourself you will start investing when things settle down. Things don't settle down. That's the trap.
Now here's the part that explains exactly how this plays out in real life. Meet Derek. He's 32, makes $74,000 a year, and genuinely believes he's doing okay. He owns a home, he has a car payment he can handle, he has 2 kids under 5 and a third on the way. He has a 401k at work that he signed up for because HR told him to, contributing just enough to get the employer match, which works out to about $150 a month. He keeps meaning to increase it, but there's always something unexpected draining the account before he gets the chance. Derek is not irresponsible. Derek is just doing what your 30s are designed to make you do. Spend everything that comes in and call it life. By the time Derek is 40, he will have 8 years of minimum contributions behind him and somewhere around $80,000 in his 401k. That sounds okay until you run the math on what those same 8 years of proper investing, $600 a month instead of $150, would have built. The difference by retirement isn't $46,000 in extra contributions, it's over $400,000 in compounding that never happened because the 30s absorbed the money before the market ever saw it. Derek isn't broke, he's just going to work about 10 years longer than he has to. And now for the number that should actually stop you cold. The most powerful compounding years of your entire life are not your 50s when you finally have money to spare. They are your 30s when you feel like you don't. A dollar invested at 32 has over 30 years to double, and at 10%, it doubles roughly every 7 years. That means $1 at 32 becomes $2 at 39, 4 at 46, 8 at 53, 16 at 60, and over 30 by the time you reach 67. A dollar invested at 42 only gets 3 of those doublings. It arrives at retirement worth $8. Same dollar, a 10-year difference, 4 times the outcome. That is the actual engine underneath every piece of wealth advice you have ever heard, and your 30s are when that engine runs hardest, whether you are using it or not. So let's get specific about what actually moves the needle, because here's where most financial advice gets vague right when you need it to be concrete. The first move is getting out of the minimum contribution trap. If you have a 401k at work and you are only contributing enough to get the employer match, you are leaving the most powerful investing years of your life sitting on the table. The match is free money. Grab it first, always. But the match is the floor, not the ceiling. The 2026 401k contribution limit is $23,500. Most people in their 30s contribute less than a quarter of that. Closing even half that gap in your 30s is worth more than maxing it out completely in your 50s, because the years do the heavy lifting, you can't. And here's the move most people miss right after that. Every time you get a raise, redirect half of it before you touch your lifestyle. Not all of it, half. Your standard of living still goes up, just slower than your income. The other half goes straight into the investment account before you ever see it in your checking balance. Done once, automatically on the day the raise kicks in, this single habit closes more of the wealth gap than any amount of budgeting willpower ever will. Webull lets you automate that redirect so it moves on payday before your spending brain knows it's there. The link is in the description. The second move is treating lifestyle inflation like the slow emergency it actually is. Every raise you get in your 30s puts you at a decision point you might not even notice you're making. One direction is the nicer apartment, the newer car, and the upgraded version of everything you already have. The other is keeping your expenses roughly where they are while the extra quietly builds in the background. Most people take the first direction without making a conscious choice. The raise arrives, the expenses expand to match it within a few months, and the raise effectively disappears. This is why people earning $90,000 feel exactly as tight as they did at $60,000. The lifestyle moved with the income and left nothing behind.
The third move is the one nobody in their 30s wants to hear. Your house is not an investment. It is a place to live and an expensive one. Stop counting it as your retirement plan, because the family that owns a $400,000 home and has $80,000 in retirement savings at 45 is not in good shape. They just feel like they are, which is worse. If you don't have $400 a month to invest, start with $100. At 10% over 30 years, that still builds to just over $200,000. The habit scales as your income does. The people who retire with real money almost never had a windfall. They had a decade in their 30s where they chose the account over the upgrade, consistently, while everyone around them went the other direction. Here's what the two versions of your 60s look like. Version 1, you automated $500 a month at 32 and bumped it with every raise. By 65, you have between $1.7 and $2.2 million. You stopped working on a Tuesday in October because you felt like it. Version 2, you meant to start, but the decade was expensive. Now you're 55 with $180,000 in savings, wondering how to close a gap the math says can't be closed in 10 years without working longer than you planned. The clock doesn't stop for either version. It just lands you in a different place. Set the contribution today, raise it 1% every 6 months, and leave it alone long enough to matter. Drop a comment with your age and where you're at, already investing or still waiting. No judgment, but be honest when you type it. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe.